Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into Martech, a topic that's everywhere in the business world but can feel, honestly, a little overwhelming.
It definitely can be. It's a rapidly evolving landscape, so it's easy to get lost in the sea of buzzwords and shiny new tools.
Exactly. That's why you're using Darrell Alfonso's The Martech Handbook as our guide today. I gotta tell you, even skimming through it, I had a few, wait a minute, why am I not doing that
I
moments.
hear that. Alfonso really breaks down complex concepts in a way that's both insightful and practical. He's got a knack for cutting through the noise and getting to the heart of what matters.
Totally. So whether you're a seasoned marketing pro or just starting to explore how technology can boost your business, get ready for some serious aha moments because we're about to demystify Martech and give you the insights you hate to make it work for you.
Sounds like a plan. A lot of times people hear MarTech and they think, well, that's just for Silicon Valley, for those huge companies. But in reality, every business, your local coffee shop down the street, all the way up to those trillion-dollar companies, needs to figure out this digital world, how to connect with customers effectively.
Yeah, I mean, look around. We're all living more of our lives online than ever before, so it only makes sense that businesses need to adapt, right?
Exactly. And that's where the concept of a MarTech stack comes in. It's basically the collection of technologies a business uses to achieve its marketing goals.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you right, it's like building a customized toolkit. But instead of hammers and wrenches, we're talking about software and platforms that help us up our marketing game.
You got it. But it's not as simple as just picking a few shiny tools and hoping for the best. It's about strategic selection and integration, making sure all the pieces work together harmoniously.
Right, because just having a toolbox full of tools doesn't make you a master craftsperson. You need to know how to use them effectively.
Exactly. And Alfonso shares a pretty eye-opening story about Ford and GE. Massive companies, tons of resources. They invested over $1 trillion in digital transformation initiatives.
Hold on, a trillion with a T. That's mind-blowing.
Right. But get this, ultimately these initiatives failed. They ended up going back to their old ways of doing things.
Wow. Okay, so that's a serious reality check. What went wrong there? Why is it so hard to make that shift, even for companies with seemingly unlimited resources?
That's the trillion-dollar question, right? One factor is just the sheer scale of change required. It's not just adopting a new tool. We're talking about shifting mindsets, processes, even company culture. It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's like trying to change a flat tire while you're driving down the highway at full speed. You need the right tools, the skills, and a good plan to pull it off successfully.
Exactly. And without a deep understanding of what MarTech is, what it can do, how it integrates with your existing systems, it's easy to make costly mistakes.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So let's shift gears for a second and talk about the why. Why should businesses even care about MarTech? What are some of the specific challenges it helps to address?
Well, one of the biggest ones is the sheer amount of time and effort wasted on manual, repetitive tasks. Alfonso talks about literally spending 2 full days compiling a marketing report.
2 days on one report. Oof, I'd be drowning in spreadsheets.
And that report, he points out, could have been automated in real time with the right tools.
Okay, so we're talking about freeing up marketers from the tedious stuff.
Exactly. So instead of drowning in spreadsheets, you're freed up to focus on strategy, creativity, and building those meaningful relationships with customers.
So it's kind of like having a really efficient assistant, but for your marketing efforts. It handles all the boring stuff so you can focus on the big picture.
Exactly. Another major challenge, MarTech tackles data chaos. Businesses are awash in data, but without the right tools, it's just noise.
Right, it's like having a library full of books but no Dewey Decimal System. You can't find anything.
Precisely. And that's where MarTech comes in, providing those tools to gather, analyze, and act upon all that data.
So it's about transforming data into insights we can actually use.
Exactly. And here's another key benefit. It empowers everyone on the marketing team to do more, even if they aren't tech experts. Things that used to require a call to IT, like building an email campaign, segmenting customer lists, now marketers can just do it themselves, with intuitive platforms.
That's huge. No more waiting around for someone else to build a simple landing page. Love that.
It's about putting the power back in the hands of marketers. You can move faster, experiment, without being held back by technical limitations.
Okay, so we're talking about agility and speed.
Exactly. And ultimately, that's what MarTech is about. It's about empowering marketers to be more effective, more efficient, and more in control of their own destiny.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture here, but now I'm really curious about what a Martech stack actually looks like?
Great question. Let's start unpacking those essential components.
Perfect. I'm ready to dive into the nuts and bolts of building this powerful Martech stack.
First up, you've got your content management system, or CMS. Think of it as the foundation for your online presence, your digital storefront.
So we're talking like your website, your blog, all those essential online pages that represent your business.
Exactly. That's where you showcase your products, your services, your brand's story. But it goes beyond just looks a good. CMS integrates with your other MarTech tools. You can personalize content, capture leads, track behavior.
Okay, so we've got our digital storefront, but what about keeping track of those customer interactions,
Yeah.
all that valuable data?
That's where your customer relationship management system comes in, your CRM, the central hub, if you will, for all things customer related.
So the CRM is like the brain of the operation, helping us really understand our customer.
Exactly. It gives you that 360-degree view of your customer. You can personalize their experience, nurture relationships, and ultimately drive sales.
Okay, makes sense. So we've got our storefront, we've got the brain. What about the engine that drives those automated marketing campaigns?
That would be your marketing automation platform, your MAP. This is where automation magic happens. Streamlining tasks like email campaigns, lead nurturing, social media, you name it.
So the MAP is like having a marketing autopilot. It takes care of the repetitive stuff so we can be more strategic.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, not harder. Set up workflows, personalize messages, and boom, your prospects move through the sales funnel.
That sounds super efficient.
Mhm.
Okay, we've got the storefront, we've got the brain, we've got our engine. What else is crucial in this core setup?
We can't forget the tool that helps us make sense of all the data we're gathering, the Customer Data Platform, or CDP.
The CDP. Okay, that's one I'm a little fuzzy on. What exactly does it do?
Think of it like a powerful data aggregator. It pulls customer data from all your sources, like your CRM, website analytics, email marketing platform, even offline data, combines it all into this single, unified view of your customer.
So it's like this master database that gives you a complete picture.
Exactly. With that view, you can create targeted campaigns that really resonate with your audience.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, can't forget about measuring progress. We've got to have a way to prove our marketing efforts are working.
Absolutely. That's where analytics platforms come into play. Tracking your marketing performance, seeing what's working, what's not, making data-driven decisions.
So it's our marketing dashboard, showing us where to adjust and optimize.
Exactly. And to keep all these campaigns, projects running smoothly, you need a reliable project management platform.
Ah, yes, the glue that holds it all together, keeping everyone organized and on the same page.
Exactly. Managing tasks, deadlines, budgets, resources. You want those projects delivered on time and within budget, right?
Absolutely. It's like we're building the ultimate marketing machine, all the essential parts working together in perfect harmony.
That's a great way to put it. These core systems form the foundation of a robust Martech stack.
This is amazing. But I know there's so much more to explore, right?
Absolutely. Just like any good foundation, you can build upon it, adding more specialized tools as your business grows. And that's what we'll dive into next.
Okay, so we've laid the groundwork with those core systems, but I'm ready to explore those specialized tools that can really fine-tune that marketing machine even further. Where do we even begin?
Well, you've got options, which is exciting, but can feel overwhelming. Alfonso actually outlines 3 main approaches to building out your stack. You've got your all-in-one suite, the best-of-breed approach, and then kind of a blend of the two, the hybrid model.
Okay, I'm intrigued. It's like choosing a house, right?
Yeah.
You can go for the prefab model, build your dream home from scratch, or land somewhere in between. Tell me more about these approaches.
Let's start with the all-in-one suite. Pretty self-explanatory. You're basically choosing one vendor who provides a whole suite of tools designed to work together seamlessly. This is often really appealing to businesses that are maybe new to MarTech or just value simplicity.
So less decision fatigue, right? One-stop shop for your MarTech needs.
Yeah.
What are we looking at in terms of benefits there?
Exactly. Simplicity is a big one. You're dealing with a single vendor, one contract, and ideally seamless integration between all those tools right out of the gate. Saves a lot of time and headaches, especially in that initial setup phase.
Sounds like a great way to dip your toes into the MarTech waters without getting overwhelmed. But are there downsides to going all in with one vendor?
There are always trade-offs. With an all-in-one, you might be sacrificing some flexibility. You're limited to the features and functions within that specific suite, and that may not cover all your bases, especially as your business grows and your marketing strategy evolves.
Yeah, makes sense. You might outgrow the suite's capabilities down the line. Okay, so then we've got the best-of-breed approach. That sounds a little more adventurous.
It definitely can be. It's like assembling your dream team of Martech tools, handpicking the absolute best solution for each specific function. This gives you maximum flexibility. You can choose solutions that perfectly match your needs, potentially gain a competitive edge with those really specialized capabilities.
Okay, so maximum power and flexibility, I get the appeal. But I imagine this approach comes with its own set of challenges.
You're right on the money. With best of breed, you're now juggling multiple vendors. Multiple contracts and integration can become a real hurdle. You need a higher level of expertise within your team to manage this more complex stack effectively.
Yeah, it's a trade-off between control and complexity. Get the best tools, but it definitely requires more effort to orchestrate everything.
All right, so we've got the all-in-one, we've got best of breed. What about that hybrid approach? I'm sensing a theme here.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot. You might start with a core suite for those essential functions, and then strategically add best-of-breed tools for specific needs where you need that extra edge.
So you get that ease and integration of a suite, but with the option to customize when you need to.
Precisely. It's a popular approach because it offers that balance between simplicity and flexibility. It allows your stack to grow and evolve alongside your business. Okay, so we've got a better handle on our approach. Now we need to actually start choosing some tools. That can feel overwhelming with so many options out there.
Hmm.
What should businesses really be thinking about when they're evaluating Martech vendors and their tools?
Alfonso actually gives a helpful framework for this in his book. It all starts with alignment. Every tool you choose should directly support your big picture marketing goals.
Right. We're not just collecting tools for the fun of it. They need to serve a purpose, have a clear ROI.
100%.
Yeah.
Then think about user experience. Is it intuitive? Is it user-friendly? Is it something your team can actually use? Because the most powerful tool in the world is useless if your team can't figure out how to use it.
Usability is so important. No one wants to be stuck with a clunky interface or spend hours trying to figure out how things work.
And then, of course, we've got to talk about integration capabilities. You need to make sure that tool plays well with others, especially those core platforms we discussed earlier. The last thing you want is data silos or manually transferring data between tools.
Right? It needs to fit into the ecosystem, not create more work. What else should we be keeping in mind?
Scalability is a big one. Can the tool grow with you, handle increasing data, handle more users, adapt to your future needs? You don't want to have to rip and replace tools every time your business hits a growth spurt.
So think long-term build for tomorrow, not just today.
Exactly. And of course, budget and ROI are key considerations. You need to know if you can afford it, if the pricing model makes sense, and if it's going to generate a positive return on your investment.
The bottom line matters. You want to make sure the juice is worth the squeeze.
Absolutely. And never underestimate the importance of data security and compliance. You want to go with vendors who prioritize those things, who adhere to industry regulations, especially when we're talking about sensitive customer data.
Yet data security is non-negotiable. It's about protecting your customers and your business.
Couldn't agree more. And lastly, don't overlook good old-fashioned customer support. When you run into bumps in the road, which you inevitably will, you want a vendor that's responsive, helpful, invested in your success.
Oh yeah, good customer support can make or break the experience, for sure.
Absolutely. Having resources like good documentation, helpful tutorials, a responsive support team can make all the difference.
So you're saying to check out their knowledge base, maybe run some test questions through their support channels to get a feel for their responsiveness.
Exactly. And always read the fine print before you sign. Make sure you understand the pricing, the terms of service, any potential hidden costs.
Right, no surprises down the line. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
100%. Building your Martech stack is an investment. You want to be making smart, informed decisions every step of the way.
This has been so helpful. But the MarTech landscape, it's constantly changing. It feels like there's a new tool popping up every day.
Right.
What are some of the emerging trends that have caught your eye?
That's a great question. It's something to always be paying attention to. One trend that's gaining some serious momentum, the rise of no-code and low-code Martech platforms.
No-code MarTech. That sounds intriguing. Does that mean someone with limited technical skills could actually build their own MarTech solutions?
You got it. No-code and low-code platforms empower marketers to create things like landing pages, simple automations, even some basic integrations without having to write a single line of code.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. It's like giving marketers their own set of digital building blocks.
Exactly. They typically have those drag-and-drop interfaces, pre-built templates, really intuitive workflows that make it easy for anyone to build and manage those simpler MarTech solutions.
That's amazing. What other trends are you seeing pop up in the Martech world?
Well, with so much emphasis on those personalized customer experiences, it's no surprise that personalization is huge in MarTech. And it's only going to become more sophisticated, more essential as consumers expect those tailored, relevant experiences.
Personalization is key. No more one-size-fits-all marketing messages. Customers want to feel like you get them.
Exactly. And MarTech plays a crucial role in enabling that. With the right tools, you can gather that rich customer data, track their behaviors, their preferences, and use that to deliver those hyper-personalized experiences across every touchpoint.
It's like having a personal shopper for each and every customer, guiding them towards what they actually need and want.
That's the idea. And then we've got AI and machine learning. They're starting to play a much bigger role in MarTech. We're seeing AI-powered tools that can analyze massive amounts of data, identify patterns, make predictions, automate tasks that used to require so much human effort.
AI in marketing. It sounds futuristic.
It's becoming less futuristic and more the norm. We're seeing AI used for everything: content generation, predictive analytics, campaign optimization, personalized product recommendations, you name it.
Wow, so we're not just automating anymore. We're making our Martech smarter, more insightful.
Precisely. And AI and machine learning are going to continue to change how we approach marketing, making our campaigns more effective, more efficient, more customer-centric.
Okay, I'm excited about the future, but I can also see how it could feel a little overwhelming, especially for businesses who are just starting their Martech journey. What advice do you have for those marketers who are feeling a little lost?
It's a great question and a common feeling. The key is to start small, focus on your goals, and build strategically. You don't have to go all in on every new tool or trend right away.
So no need to invest in that full-blown enterprise-level suite from day one.
Exactly. Start by identifying your biggest pain points, those areas where technology can really move the needle, and focus your initial efforts there. Look for tools that address those specific challenges and align with your overall goals.
So no shiny object syndrome. Resist the urge to chase the latest and greatest. It's about being strategic and purposeful with your tech choices.
100%. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try different tools, see what works for your team, your business, and be open to adjusting as you go. That flexibility is one of the best things about MarTech.
Marketing is all about iterating and improving, right?
Absolutely. And lastly, embrace the learning process. The MarTech world is constantly evolving, so stay curious, stay informed, never stop learning. Make it a habit to read industry blogs, attend webinars, connect with other professionals. Stay ahead of the curve.
Stay curious. Stay informed, words to live by in the ever-changing world of MarTech.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been such an insightful conversation. I feel like we've really demystified this whole MarTech landscape. We've covered so much, from building that solid foundation to exploring the vast world of specialized tools.
It's been a pleasure diving deep into this with you.
And now, as we move into the final part of our deep dive, I want to switch gears a bit and talk about the human element. Because even with the most advanced technology, it all comes down to the people, right?
100%. It's the people who make it all work. And that's what we'll unpack next.
So we've explored the what, the why, even the how to choose when it comes to building our MarTech stack. But like you said, it always comes back to the human element. What's the secret sauce that separates the MarTech masters from those who just end up with a bunch of tools they don't know how to use?
That's such a great question. And it gets to the heart of what Alfonso really emphasizes in his book. Managing your MarTech stack effectively, it's not a one-and-done project. It's an ongoing process. You need a strategic approach to keep everything running smoothly, make sure it can grow with you, and avoid falling into the trap of what's called technical debt.
Technical debt. Okay, that sounds a little intimidating. What exactly are we talking about here?
Imagine you're constantly patching up a leaky roof, but you're just using duct tape. Those quick fixes might seem fine in the moment, but eventually you're going to have a much bigger problem on your hands.
Okay, that's a visual I can get behind. So in the MarTech world, what does duct tape patching look like?
Think about things like rushing to implement integrations that don't quite work the way they should. Or maybe you've got messy data, disorganized, so it's almost impossible to analyze. Or those complex workarounds that everyone's afraid to touch because no one really knows how they work. These things, they might seem like minor annoyances at first, but over time they add up,
Yeah.
They create this burden on your team and your resources.
So it's like skipping those routine checkups with your doctor or not getting your oil changed. You might get away with it for a while, but eventually it catches up to you.
Exactly. But just like with those checkups and oil changes, a little preventative care goes a long way. By taking a proactive approach to managing your MarTech, you can avoid that technical debt and make sure it's healthy and efficient for the long run.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we avoid falling into that trap?
It starts with a shift in mindset. Instead of just reacting to what's urgent right now, you've got to think long term. How does your MarTech stack need to evolve as your business grows and changes?
So building for tomorrow, not just for today.
Precisely. When you're evaluating new tools, think about how well they can scale. Can they handle more data, more users as your business expands? Will they easily integrate with the systems you already have?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's easy to get excited about a shiny new tool, but you got to think about those long-term implications. What else can we do to make sure our MarTech stack is in tip-top shape?
Another key principle here is to treat your MarTech stack like it's a product. Think about it. Product managers are constantly gathering feedback from users, figuring out which features are most important, and then using that information to iterate and improve their products.
Okay, I like that analogy. We need to channel our inner product manager when it comes to MarTech.
Exactly. So that means regularly checking how your system is performing. Are there any bottlenecks slowing you down? Don't wait for things to break.
Sure.
Identify those pain points early on and fix them.
It's all about continuous improvement, right? Always looking for ways to tweak and optimize.
Exactly. And we talked about it before, but it's worth repeating. Integration is key. You want to create this ecosystem where data flows smoothly between all your different tools.
No data silos. All our systems should be talking to each other, sharing information, working together like a well-coordinated team.
And don't forget about the power of automation. Look for those repetitive tasks that suck up your team's time and figure out how to automate them using your MarTech tools.
Free up that mental energy so your team can focus on strategy and creative problem solving.
Exactly. And then one last thing. Don't underestimate the importance of governance when you're managing a complex MarTech stack.
Governance. Okay, that sounds very official.
Yeah.
What does that actually look like in the context of MarTech?
Think of it as setting the ground rules for how your team interacts with and manages your MarTech ecosystem. Who has access to what data? What are the protocols for security and maintenance? How do you make sure everyone's using these powerful tools responsibly and ethically?
So it's about creating structure and accountability, making sure everyone's on the same page.
Precisely. Good governance minimizes risk, protects your data, and helps make sure your entire MarTech stack is being used effectively.
This is great stuff. But at the end of the day, even with the best tools, the smoothest processes, and solid governance, it all comes down to the people, right?
100%. Technology is only as good as the people behind it. A truly successful MarTech team, that's where marketing savvy meets technical know-how.
So what does that dream team look like? What are the skills and qualities that make a MarTech rock star?
First and foremost, they need that deep understanding of both marketing and technology. They have to be fluent in both worlds, able to understand the goals of marketing and translate those into technical requirements and vice versa.
It's like being bilingual, but instead of speaking two languages, they speak marketing and technology.
Exactly. And they can't be afraid of data. They need strong analytical skills to dive into all that information, find those hidden gems, and turn them into insights that drive real decisions.
Data is the fuel, but you need someone who knows how to refine it, turn it into something powerful.
And let's not forget, communication MarTech pros, they often have to explain really complex stuff to people who aren't tech savvy. They need to build consensus, get everyone on board with new ideas.
Being able to break down those technical barriers and communicate clearly, that's so key.
Absolutely. And lastly, you want people who are hungry to learn, They're adaptable, they're excited about new tools, new trends. They've got that growth mindset.
Because the MarTech landscape is constantly changing. You got to be ready to evolve with it.
100%. That willingness to experiment, to try new things, to never stop learning, that's what's going to set MarTech professionals apart in the future.
This has been an incredible deep dive. I feel like we've taken this massive, sprawling topic of MarTech and broken it down into manageable pieces. We've talked about building a strong foundation, exploring all those specialized tools, managing your stack effectively, and building a team that can really make it all sing.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you.
And to our listeners, remember MarTech. It's not just about checking boxes on a software list. It's about using the power of technology to amplify your marketing efforts, deepen your customer relationships, and ultimately drive real results. So stay curious, keep experimenting, and never stop exploring the exciting world of MarTech.